In London, Jenny Nair, an employee of UK-based company Baron Industries, introduces a new technology that allows objects from the digital world to enter the real world, using the wireless transmissions from multiple devices. Shekhar Subramanium, who also works for the company, is given a final chance to devise with a video game with a difference. To impress his skeptical son Pratik, and upon the request of his wife Sonia, Subramaniam uses his son's idea that the antagonist be more powerful than the protagonist. Shekhar's colleague Akashi provides the moves of the game's characters. Jenny does the programming and Shekhar gives his face to the game's protagonist G.One. Whilst the antagonist Ra.One is faceless and has substantially greater powers than those granted to G.One, including shape-shifting. Ra.One is imbibed with a self-learning artificial intelligence. The game has 3 levels, and either of the players can only be killed in the 3rd level using a special gun that holds a single bullet. While designing the game, Akashi notices some malfunctions but ignores them. When the game is finally launched, it receives a standing ovation and Pratik loves it so much that he insists on playing it instantly. He logs in under the alias Lucifer and proceeds to the 2nd level, but is interrupted by Akashi, the self-aware Ra.One. Being unable to end his turn with Lucifer, becomes determined that Lucifer shall die. When the mainframe fails to shut down, Akashi calls Shekhar, who notices a problem with the game. Ra.One uses the new technology to enter the real world and breaks free and goes to find Lucifer. Ra.One first threatens Akashi and asks him where Lucifer is. When Akashi fails to reply, Ra.One abruptly abducts and murders him. After Shekhar finds the dead Akashi, he rushes home. However, he is found by Ra.One. In an attempt to save his son, Shekhar claims that he is Lucifer. However, Ra.One scans Shekhar's ID, and, discovering he has lied, kills him. Pratik notices the strange circumstances of his father's death and realizes that Ra.One has come to life. He and Jenny attempt to bring G.One to life. Meanwhile, Sonia tells Pratik that the family will return to India, having taken the form of Akashi. Ra.One chases them, but G.One enters the real world through Jenny's computer and causes a gas explosion which saves them and temporarily destroys Ra.One. G.One takes Ra.One's H.A.R.T, without which Ra.One is weakened. Sonia finds she cannot leave G.One and takes him along with them to India through Shekhar's passport. G.One promises Sonia that he will protect Pratik from any harm. Ra.One returns to life, takes the form of a billboard model, and tracks G.One and Pratik. Udharan Chennai. During Pratik's birthday party, Ra.One hypnotizes Sonia, assumes her form and kidnaps Pratik. Ra.One then instructs G.One to give him his H.A.R.T back, and sends the real Sonia in an uncontrollable Mumbai suburban railway train. G.One saves Sonia just in the nick of time, though the Chhatrapati Shivaji terminus is destroyed, and returns to save Pratik. The game resumes, with Pratik controlling G.One's moves. Following a lengthy fight, both of the characters reach the 3rd level. With little power left, G.One and Pratik trick Ra.One into shooting G.One without his H.A.R.T attached, which leaves Ra.One helpless. Furious, Ra.One creates 10 copies of himself. Pratik, unable to differentiate the real Ra.One, asks G.One to quote one of Shekhar's sayings. If you join the forces of evil, its shadows shall always follow you. The pair then realize that only one of the 10 Ra.Ones has a shadow, the original one. G.One shoots and destroys him, and after absorbing Ra.One's remains, transports himself back into the digital world. Udharan. Several months later, Pratik and Sonia return to the UK, where Pratik finally manages to restore G.One to the real world, much to his and his mother's joy.